Hello everyone, my name is Xia Dongyue. I'm a professor at Capital Normal University. Welcome to my course on skills for writing and publishing academic papers in English. And today's topic is on don't write TBE papers. You may wonder what TBE is. I'll tell you later. Before we start our talk, let's see the vocabulary or the words for this talk. I'll do you a favor. Please read after me to familiarize your ear for the terms, for the words, for the vocabulary I'll mention in this talk. Are you ready? Read after me. Academic writing. Academic writing. Publication. Publication. Article. Article. Journal. Journal. Title. Title. Expectation. Expectation. Citation. Citation. Discipline. Discipline. Proficiency. Proficiency. Guideline. Guideline. Academic journal. Academic journal. Peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed. Authenticity. Authenticity. Objectivity. Objectivity. Empirical article. Empirical article. Conceptual article. Conceptual article. Propositional article. Propositional article. Response article. Response article. Translation-based English paper. Translation-based English paper. Now, first of all, I have a few questions for you to think for this course. First, do you know features of academic writing? And did you ever write an English academic paper before? Did you ever use translation devices to write an English academic paper? Did you find any problems with the translation devices that you use? With these questions, let's start today's topic. The first one, I want to tell you about what are the features of research articles. Scholars need to publish peer-reviewed articles in academic journals. Chinese scholars need to learn to write beautifully in English as well. And all academic disciplines are represented by multiple journals that publish research findings or outcomes. Articles are typically anonymous and peer-reviewed by other researchers within a topic area before they are published to ensure the quality and the credibility of the research. So please publish before you perish. Now, we look at all these journal articles. They can be broadly divided into 4 categories. The first, empirical articles, meaning the researchers conduct some type of studies and report the findings. Second, conceptual articles, meaning researchers reviewed and interpreted multiple empirical and conceptual studies by others or by themselves. Third, propositional articles, meaning researchers are proposing new theories or directions that are creative and logical by considering other empirical and conceptual researches or concepts or theories. And the fourth, research articles, meaning researchers are responding usually critical comments by others and to research or idea that were published by another author or on other journals. So basically, there's 4 types of articles you need to keep in mind. And here are some examples that I want to give you of my own publications. The first one is Humor Styles, Creative Personality Traits, and Creative Thinking in a Hong Kong Sample. In this article, I reviewed the relationship between humor styles, creative personality traits, and creative thinking among a sample of 118 Hong Kong undergrad students, and come up with some observations. Basically, I found in Chinese society, when we look at creativity, we think creativity is not related to humor, whereas in Western society, humor is typically heavily or highly related to humor. Well, if you care, you can read my article. I'm just giving you an example. The second article is a conceptual article, which I wrote before. It's called Exploration of Chinese Humor, Historical Review, Empirical Findings, and Critical Reflections. And in this article, I reviewed how humor developed, thrived in Chinese society throughout the Chinese history of 2,000 years. And I'm just giving you all this summary or summative comments of how humor was viewed by Chinese people over the last 2,000 years. And if you care, you can read my article. The third one is about the propositional article, which I published before. The title of the article is Meritorious Evaluation Bias, How Chinese Undergraduates Perceive and Evaluate Chinese and Foreign Creators. And in this article, I proposed a theory. It's called Meritorious Evaluation Bias, meaning some people, particularly for the Chinese, when they look at creativity, they look at the merit of the creativity rather than the novelty of the creativity. So it's the merit that determines the value of your creativity. It's not the novelty that determines the value of your creativity. If you care, you can read my article. And the fourth one is a response article written by someone else. And I'm just giving you as an example. And these are the different types of articles you need to be aware. Having said all of this, let's look at what are the important things you need to know about research articles. First, people need to understand that academic writing is not a language that people usually speak or write. It's a special form of communication or language. Second, people need to realize that academic writing is a language that has been developed for writers to communicate with readers rather than for ordinary people to communicate with each other. So in other words, it's a language for a special group of people, not for everyone. Thirdly, people need to be aware that academic writing is a formulaic style of writing with specific cues and standards to follow. By formulaic, I mean the writing is formatted. You have to follow the instructions. You have to follow the expectations of this kind of writing, which is usually discipline-based. And fourthly, people need to learn how to think and communicate in discipline-based academic writing languages. By discipline, I mean you have to follow your own disciplinary requirements. For instance, I'm a psychologist. I publish on psychological journals. And then when I write, I have to follow what is called APA style of writing. APA stands for American Psychological Association. And they have a manual, a whole book, a whole manual about do's and don'ts, tips for writing and publishing journal articles for psychology. Having said all of this, I hope you all know research articles is tough to write.